it's a wonderful morning. It's cold, but it's sunny, and she's no, it's not.
Foggy.
Well, that's all right. The sun will be behind the fog. Look on the bright side, because you'll need to today, I'll tell you.
There we
Number
go.
one, which says it all. Hugh Edwards
Oh, Lord.
wants to come back. He's made that quite clear through social media. Well, perhaps social media couldn't have him back and deserve him back. But what concerns me in this return of the Wanderer is that he's been backed. And guess who's backed him?
Oh, it'll be the BBC.
It's the journalists in the BBC who've come out and said, we want him back. Now,
Well,
does that tell you everything?
well, of course it does, but it also tells you how lacking in any empathy he is or any moral compass whatsoever. There's no consideration given for this has just popped up out of nowhere. How do the people that he abused feel? What about any compassion for them? He's a typical narcissist. He has no empathy. He's completely entitled. It's all about him. And of course, he will have managed, because this is what abusers do, he will have used a very sort of plausible excuse to weak, stupid people who don't want to think about it. I've seen it before. I saw it in my own case. To like they manage to choose yet again stupid people who they are easy to manipulate and get on team. And that's what he will have done. That's what he would have done. And it's absolutely outrageous. It's no accountability, no remorse, nothing.
No, it's
It's just dreadful. The
the
man is an absolute, well,
people.
as I said at the time, he's a grubby little toad.
The people in the BBC, some of them are treated like demagogues,
Yes,
and they can get away with things,
it's terrible.
and it's got a history of it.
It's
I mean, it's
absolutely.
not a question of, oh, I'm suspicious about him. Let's have an investigation. No, it goes
No,
on for 20 years with
yeah,
Savile and Co. And
there's
they
too
know.
many. Too many. There's a list of them as long as your arm. And I am absolutely for Donald Trump going for 10.5 billion. Good for him.
Yes, I mean, whether he gets anything from it, certainly won't get that much.
No, he won't.
But the whole thing behind this, unfortunately, is the Labour Party will do nothing. They
Mm,
want the BBC to be status quo
mm.
because, of course, they vote Labour.
Yes.
And it's so not only are Labour content in putting up with the grooming gangs, the rape gangs, because they don't want to lose any Pakistani vote, they've even extended it now to the BBC.
I mean, it is so transparently clear what's going on. I mean, I saw a slogan the other day. They won't stop the boats because it means more votes.
Yes, votes for votes, votes for votes,
Yeah.
votes for
Yeah,
votes.
it's dreadful. I mean, yeah, I did a couple of programs on that about Hugh Edwards. It's despicable, absolutely despicable. And as I say, no thought for the victims and this could, of course, will have re-traumatized them. I mean,
Yes,
has he ever paid for their mental health therapy? Oh, no. He walked away with his pension. Unbelievable.
yes, and akin to this, I'm going to talk a little bit about social media. There's two arguments, obviously, one pro social media, the other against, or how it should, if it should, be controlled. I'll tell you who's making hay at the moment out of social media is the Tory parties. They reckon it's responsible for the mini revival. They've got some cute kid in there that
Mhm.
knows how to manipulate social media, and it really is being useful. Nigel and co. And Labour are not far behind, but Tories are in the lead here, and they're mainly using TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. That is the one at the moment. That is the one. It's the go-to at the moment. I mean, I've been told I've got to use it to do little. They're called shorts. So you do little
They
short.
are, it's everything's under X amount of minutes, and
Yeah, exactly. I've got to try doing it, but to try and show who you are, what you're about. But given it's cold and foggy at the moment, I don't think I want to walk around the fields with my camera.
well, you don't get anything but a headline, and we all know about headlines in newspapers. It's the same on social media.
But it does work. TikTok does work. I
Oh,
mean,
it
a lot
does,
of
and it's
people.
Chinese.
Yeah, well, isn't everything? I mean, TikTok is where a lot of people establish their career musically or whatever. You've only got to look at Joe Sugg. You know Joe Sugg. I mean, he's made all his money out of knowing how to manipulate social media. I mean, it is a gift. It's a skill. If you've got it, it's brilliant. But I'm only. I find it very difficult.
Well, I
Nothing
mean,
stresses me more.
Marilyn, everyone's different. You've got to learn a new program. And I'm sorry, are we prepared at our tender age to learn 20 different programs?
Oh, I can't
Get
do
them
that.
all confused.
No. And also because of what I do in the world of abuse online, I absolutely will not be using Facebook. I won't use Facebook. I won't use anything that's I know I've got to use TikTok, which I will do because I do think that that is where you get the trajectory, if you like, of establishing yourself. I do think that's where it's at. But
Well, the answer is, of course,
I'll keep you posted.
yeah, the answer, of course, is to employ an 8-year-old and they can
Yeah,
whisper
well, even younger.
if possible.
But if they've got
Yes.
some cool cookie doing that, that's very good for them because, funnily enough, I mean, I just sort of sit and watch everybody sort of on on the politics, but I do think Kemi Badenoch is some sort of like coming up like a phoenix out of the ashes somehow. I mean, she's really giving him a run for his money at question time. And what I think is so funny, she has this sort of barbed sort of humor in her tone, doesn't she? Sort of slightly
Well,
humiliating.
that's the good side, but let's concentrate a little while on the bad side, because everybody knows that it's outrageous that you can't vote. 8 million people will not be
Yeah,
able to vote in
dreadful.
local elections because of Labour. And there's nobody shouted more than the Tories. And guess what? The Tories are now refusing to go ahead in two of their constituents. And they're saying, oh, we can't get this ready in time. They're just as bad as Labour.
Oh, they are. They're all as bad as each other, quite frankly, aren't they, Rodney? Honestly. I mean, at the end of the day, who are they to decide? I mean, we are the voters. We actually put them in power. We pay for their wages. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And then they're all terrified, aren't they? In fact, both sides are terrified about, I think, the Green Party. I don't actually think Lib Dems have got much to worry about because they don't seem to feature. But, the Green Party, I'm amazed how people are backing him.
I get, you hear figures like 1 in 8 of people are claiming now because of mental illness, uh, any benefits they can. No, I don't jest. They're all the Green Party that's claiming. Not true. Quickly moving on from social media, something that is truly terrifying. The EU, in its wisdom, have decided to adopt GPT AI. There's lots of AIs around. GPT was one of the first ones, actually. And they said, we've got to stop all this paedophilia going on. So therefore, we want access to this, that, and the other. And this is going through literally as we speak. They're going to monitor everything with their refined GPT search engine. And it's going to revolutionize the whole of Europe. And it will, because this is rubbish. It's nothing to do with paedophilia. This is control. The Americans have woken up because they're sick of getting, especially Elon Musk, fined millions and millions of dollars for doing something which is nothing but it infringes EU laws. They're hypocrites. And of course, to maintain his foothold in Europe, he's paid it. And this is control.
Oh yeah.
If they'd have said, right, if you put pornography on for 12-year-olds like you do, we'll fine you. Good on them. But this
Yeah.
is it's not that. It's just an excuse for getting money and
Yeah.
shutting mouths and controlling us. This is Europe. Europe amazes me. I watched a wonderful video this week about the death of Europe. And
Oh.
they're right. You cannot maintain something that is totally undemocratic, that you can't vote for, you can't get rid of. It
Mm.
will fall.
Mm.
Same thing will happen with
Sounds a bit like
like the
Starmer.
Labour Party, exactly.
Well, we get the what's it called? We call it's a little like A4 flimsy little magazine that comes every week called The Week. And this one, I don't know if you've heard of it. You can't buy it in the shops. It's a subscription thing, and we buy. Well, we don't get it. We somebody bought it as a present, as an annual subscription, and it comes. And the one I haven't. It arrived yesterday. I haven't yet read it, but it does go on about. Is this the demise of Europe? I've got to read it. It's an easy magazine to read. It's short, sharp, the salient points, and that's it. You get a flavour across the spectrum rather than going down one media channel that is clearly obvious, Labour or lefty or righty, whatever it is. It's very easy to see which ones are which, aren't they? It's very easy. But and it's the same with the newspapers, isn't it? You know which ones are right wing and which ones are left wing, and the week is just a spectrum that isn't particularly affiliated to any one party. It's quite interesting, but that was the main headline on the front page, so I must have a look at that later.
Well, while we're advertising, can I put a freebie in for the Conservative woman? Don't read Conservative Party there, the Conservative woman, the average woman. And fellas, you've got to get hold of it. It's brilliant. It's nothing to do with just women, but their perception of various things comes through on this online magazine. They don't charge, they ask for donations.
Wow.
They've got fabulous people writing for them, and boy, do they get to the truth.
What's
And
it called? Conservative Woman.
the Conservative woman, just type that into your Google,
All right.
or in Spain, type it into your Google. They can't pronounce anything here, can they? And well, no, they can't. They pronounce every letter in quite rightly. It's only the stupid English language that says Google. It is Google if you work it out
Well,
phonetically.
it is. I think the English languages must be so difficult to learn
Oh no,
because
it's the easiest language on this earth.
no,
Honestly,
it's
it
no,
is.
it's not.
This part of it's difficult, but I tell you what, there are no declensions in English. Well, very few. If you go to another language, whether it's French, Spanish, Portuguese, or whatever, there's so many declensions, subjunctives. You'll never speak it right unless you're brought up with it,
Yeah.
or unless you're Andalou, which is a different language. So we've got both problems down here. And you see, they can't even say Andalou. It's Andalou. Well, it's from Andalusia. Can you not pronounce it right? This is what the rest of the Spain
I
say.
always think though you've got things in our language like oh the bow in your hair, but you bow to the king, BOW. I mean or there's a bow on a tree, but that's
Oh,
BOUGH.
that is, yeah, it's
I
dips
think
long
that's
time. This
really
is
difficult. So you
this,
have cough,
that's
COUGH,
right, yeah.
but you
Well,
have dough, not
that's your
doff, it's
diphthongs,
dough.
isn't it? That's
It
the
is just, it must be impossible, I think, to learn or
well,
to write because of that spelling.
we digress. So we're given some free adverts there. That's no bad thing. And we'll stay with Mr. Trump because he's in trouble with Europe because he's dared to say, and I think it's 30 odd page document that came out last week, and it says you've got it wrong at Europe. Your civilization in 20 years will be destroyed. And now Europe's gone up in arms. How dare he? I tell you what, they've not made one cogent argument against what he said. Not one from any source because they can't. It's true. Let me go into it a little bit more. And he says, mainly it's caused by migration.
Yeah, yeah.
Your society has changed. You will not get it back. You've got 20 years, if that long, to do anything about it. And I simply say, if you don't believe Trump, look at London. What a train crash is
Uh,
London. And
Awful.
there you've got a third Caucasian white. The rest are illegal and legal immigration. And the whole place is an utter disaster
It's just
and corrupt.
it's dreadful. It is dreadful. Some of the photographs and some of the, violence that's going on in there, like pro-Palestine and this, that, and the other, and the tents on the streets. I mean, Sadiq Khan needs to be kicked his ass to the moon and stay there. I mean, he's dreadful. He has absolutely ruined London.
By 2060, and this is a very conservative estimate, Caucasian white will be the minority throughout the whole country.
Oh,
It'll
definitely.
be, in other words, it'll be like London.
Yes,
Dystopia. Welcome to Great Britain.
absolutely right. I'm surprised you say what you say 2060.
That's throughout the whole country, even
I
in
reckon it'll be less than that.
individual aids.
Less than that, I reckon.
Well, Birmingham is pretty close to London geographically and where it's got to status-wise with immigration. So is
Mhm.
Glasgow. All the biggies.
Bradford, Bradford,
Yeah, then you've
Blackburn.
got don't quote me now, second line cities, let's call them, like the Bradfords and the Blackburns and the Leicesters. And it's a tragedy what's happening to our
Or
country
wasn't it what the
deliberately. We swiftly move on to cheer you up now. We're going to cheer you up. But before we cheer you up, we've got to go to Canada, who in many ways are leading the pack to destruction. And how about this for a story? Well, there's a pastor, Pastor Derek, who's been under house arrest now for many months. He's escaped jail but he's going to go to jail, I reckon, because he's not going to trade his pastorship in and go to the woke of Canada. And if there's any place worse than Great Britain, it's Canada for woke. And what he's done, he's actually preached within his church that something's wrong with trans. And then he went and talked to his public librarian lady and said, I don't really agree with this peculiar thing that seems to be developing, of course, in the States and Canada, and now in Great Britain, of drag queen hour, which, as I say, alive and well in many parts of the world, but especially in Canada and now in England, and not only in schools, in libraries as well. Drag Queen Hour is a time for LGBT plus to get into our kids and brainwash them. And they come and dressed as trans people. It's like pantomime time
but
on
that yeah, but
steroids.
that's not trans people, is it? That's cross-dressing, isn't it? Not the same thing. I
No, it
mean,
isn't, but they preach the same thing.
oh right,
And
okay,
it's
yeah.
coming from LGBT, it's the soft sell.
Yeah, the soft sell. Yeah,
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 and they get
yeah.
up to awful things and gyrating on the floor
Oh,
and
God.
dancing with the kids. Why don't the parents do something about it?
Well,
Because
maybe the
they're in
parents,
agreement.
I was going to say, do their parents know? I don't know. But no, I mean, it is a little bit like the Ugly Sisters, isn't it? Out of the pantomime, it really is. God.
Well, I mean, he's going to get put away. And all he said, well, he's not said anything. The Bible says, and it does, that certain things are wrong and certain things are right. He's a pastor, he should know.
You should know.
But you can say anything about a Christian, a Jew, whoever. But you try and say anything about, in this case, LGBT
Mm.
or Islam, you've got real problems.
Oh, you've got more problems saying anything about Islam, I think, than anything else.
Just wait. Well, the new
Protected
Islamophobia
species.
is described this next week,
Ah,
and you will see how prophetic your word is. Let's cheer people up, as I said before. And there's a sting in the tail. Labour are going to free up land so they can build all these houses. We know it's impossible. They built, well, they wanted to build 1.5 million by 2029. It's count them on the fingers of your hand. They'll never do it. Of course, the lovely Angela, who, by the way, has published a book about to, yes, about her life and how
oh,
she
that's going to be a
succeeded in it.
bestseller.
Well, I tell you what, she's got £100,000 advance today on the book. So there you are. That's something to look for.
Who's published it?
Oh, one of the majors. I can't
I was
remember.
going to say, yeah, it'll be one of the majors, won't it? I mean,
Yeah.
she
Oh,
really
yeah.
does. She really knows how to work her stuff and get money, doesn't she? She's a.
Well, she does, and
I don't like her. If she came back, oh no, I just think she's a dreadful woman. I really do.
well, she failed completely about building houses and many other things. Failed completely about telling the truth, and now she's going to publish a book. Seems to go hand in hand, doesn't it? The problem is, she and other people within the Labour movement said it's the availability of land, and we've got to wake people up, and the builders are bad, and they're bad, and etc. You've got lots of half truths there. And this new law that will be passed actually says that your garden can be forcibly purchased, compulsory purchase, if you've got a big garden. Oh, you don't need a garden that big for your semi-detached suburban. We're taking half the land off, whether you like it or not. This is socialism in the year
It's dreadful.
2025.
I mean, it's like they wanted to take away all the allotments and
Yes.
allotments and outdoor gardening, like the gardening, the growing of vegetables. Which I mean, we've got several allotments down in our village, and people actually, they grow the food, they give it to the local food bank, and it's just very good for your mental health. And if you keep taking away all these like lovely, lovely, beautiful spaces, I mean, that's the problem. And we've got Universal Studios being built 10 miles up the road from us. So that's been given the green light now properly. And the roads and the mess and the traffic. I mean, it's going to take 3 years to build University Studios, plus the fact they're putting in a railway link, which I do think is a good idea, Oxford to Cambridge. And it's also going to stop at University Studios, which is no bad thing. But you think of the countless people that are going. We have 80,000 cars a week going down our lane. You think we got like 2 miles away, we've got Centre Parks. So people are going to be thumping up from there, up 10 miles up the road to Universal Studios. It's going to be a nightmare. I appreciate it's going to be a huge opportunity for local people. It's going to put Bedfordshire on the map, but it comes at a price. It comes at a high price, I think, because we have some beautiful wildlife around here, and I have a real problem with them losing their habitats.
Yes, it's a very difficult issue. But I tell you what, if they turned up at Buck House in the centre of London and said to Charlie, we want half your back garden, of course they won't do that. How stupid. They're all part of the elites.
Well, that's right. Absolutely. They're protected, aren't they? Absolutely right. I mean,
Yes.
we won't even mention Andrew, who's holed up in some enormous place somewhere in Norfolk, isn't
Oh,
he? I mean,
apparently he's become a couch potato.
well,
Stupid.
he always was.
Exactly.
He always was.
So what's changed there?
Ah,
Okay, we're having a go at everybody. Well, we're going to do something else now. And you thought Canada was bad. No. Apparently, there is a young man that was put in a private boarding school by mum and dad, and he sort of felt that he should be a girl and not a boy. And he didn't tell his parents, but although they weren't day to day with him, they kept a sharp eye on him through computers. They're very computer savvy and found out what was going on. And apparently, the school had encouraged him from age 12 to experiment and not to tell his parents that they were approving of drugs so that he could transfer to a lady from a gentleman.
And how old was he?
He was 12 at the start of all this.
Terrible. That's child abuse. That's illegal.
Well, they got out of it legally or half legally because it's so much money to go to court on these things. It's a health issue, said his housemaster. Really? And therefore they
Yeah, a
looked
mental
after.
health issue, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So he went on and on and on, got himself drugged up, got everything done. The whole lot was done basically. And by the time he was 18, his parents gave up. They'd been trying to work with him from age 12 about this. And that's okay. He's 18, freedom at last. And he went and flew over to Canada, where he met up with his groomer, who throughout this time had been encouraging him to trans. And they are living happily ever after. Don't you believe it? Because these things break up like you wouldn't believe. And that is awful.
Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I mean, you can't, it's like these puberty blockers. I mean, West Streeting should be hung, drawn, and quartered. It's absolutely dreadful. 200 children being used as guinea pigs, that their parents are like 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, puberty blockers. It's absolutely disgraceful.
They're breaking the law,
Absolutely.
and the NHS are.
And the NHS are
Supreme
backing
Court.
it. It's
Yeah,
dreadful. And that child doesn't really have a right, does it? And they have said that it does actually cause brain damage. And of course it does, because you can't put these drugs into a developing brain that, neural pathways growing all the time. It's absolutely disgusting. I just don't, I just wonder what sort of universe I'm living in.
experimenting for goodness sake. It's like
It's
the blooming Third
dreadful.
Reich, isn't it?
It is. It's exactly like that, Rodney. Exactly, exactly. And I just don't know how West Streeting can get away with this. I mean, I'm hoping all this stuff has to go through the House of Lords.
Have a great deal of fear. He could be our next prime minister.
Oh, so do I. So do I. I have a horrible feeling. And whatever he says, I think he's lining himself up for it, even thoh he strongly denies
Oh
it.
yes, of course they are.
I'm afraid the gentleman does protest too much.
Yes. Right, we're going on to ghost number plates, which are very fashionable in the United Kingdom, especially. Well, they call them 3D and 4D. What it is, the speed cameras, etc., can't pick them up. They just go blurred. And it's been going on, and the law has turned its blind eye. But I mean, it's terrible. These people are getting away with fortunes, and they're going to clamp down on this. And if you've got a clever number plate, you will be fined. Well, I'll tell you what, you'll be fined £1,000 and 6 points. Now, Mr. Judiciary in the United Kingdom, if you think that and these are criminals doing this will affect the criminals only getting £1,000 fine. Come on, get real. They should be fined and put in jail.
Okay, so if we're driving down the road, are you talking about where people sort of like space the letters and numbers different so it looks like a name?
No,
Or can
that's
you
a
actually,
separate.
would you
No,
actually recognize?
it confuses. That's the best way of putting
But
it.
would you be able to see that with your naked eye, sort of thing, as
Oh
a colour?
yes, your naked eye will see it
You'd be able to
as
see
an
it.
ordinary number plate. A
Uh-huh.
bit different,
Oh,
but
okay.
sufficient to say, oh, number plate.
I didn't know that.
It's not, well, it's
Wow.
very clever, but there you go. You tend to find criminals are very clever. Anyway, they're coming in and finding people. That will not stop it. They're making millions, these
Yeah.
people. So, yeah, it's not the good news or the bad news. I don't know. We're going to EVs, electrical vehicles, more laws on the way. And of course, they don't think out anything before they put laws through. How do we encourage us to go green? Oh, well, you can buy a very expensive all electric car and we'll give you 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Oh, I'll have a bit of that, everybody says, until they now find that they're going to be charged a rate per mile because the government are losing tax. Don't trust them, folks. Even Europe has said, forget this 2035 deadline whereby no more purchase of petrol or diesel cars. It's not going to happen. And the real reason, of course, is the motor industry is in a mess. They plan donkey's years ahead a new model. 10 years, even 20 years sometimes. They can't plan anything. Nobody knows what to do. Well, England, Britain are still not at that stage yet of saying, oh, this is a nonsense. Of course they aren't, because Mr. Miliband is in charge and he's spouted so much nonsense. I mean, it is not scientific. I'll say that again. All this green stuff is not scientific. You can prove the reverse. Now, you've been a conspiracist saying that in the past, but lock me up. I can prove it. And at last, you see the glint of light coming through here, because we can't afford to go green, even if it was real. And it's all a way of making money. Somebody, the elites, are making a fortune out of all this green nonsense.
Yeah.
We don't want the forests of Brazil to burn down. That's sensible green.
Absolutely.
But this CO2 is a load of nonsense.
All my kids have got electric cars. I wouldn't have one as a gift. They love them. They absolutely love them, and they said it's much easier now to fill up. I mean, it's obviously, we said last week, I remember we were talking about it. It's obviously cheaper to fill up at home, but I think it is faster to charge cars than it used to be, because we went to a funeral this week and we just popped in for a coffee, and my son just zapped some electricity into the car, and that would get it wasn't we weren't gone long, and he said that's enough for another 80 miles. So is I think the filling of them, there's many more charging points than there were, but I still wouldn't want one. And also I think they're quite dangerous because you can't hear them. If people have got bad sight, you can't hear the electric cars, they're so quiet.
Hang on, you've thrown me now. Bad sight, they can't hear. Oh, I see. If they're deaf as well, yeah, okay. I've caught up with you now.
There you go. See, if you're blind or partially blind and you rely on your hearing, you
Yeah.
can't see the car properly and you won't be able to hear it either. It's so
No,
quiet.
certainly not at low speeds. High speeds, the tyre noise is quite
Yes, they do, don't they? Yeah, I've noticed that.
substantial.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a retraction to make with apologies, because we were discussing EVs last week, and I mentioned if you filled it full of electricity overnight, it's 12, 14 pound or something,
Yeah.
and it can be 50 odd if as well. I should have mentioned and made it clear it's 50 odd if you go to a motorway service station
Yes. Yeah.
and filled your car up that way, because they're ultra fast chargers and they rip you off anyway, don't they, at motorways?
But of course they do. They do with fuel. You never want to get stuck having to go to a service station on a motorway. You always want to make sure that you fill the car up before you leave home.
Right, before we go, because we're running out of time rapidly, we're going to talk about Jess Phillips and misogyny, and the fact that the government want to take even more control over your children, and they want to brainwash them and say, you're a misogynist. Even if you're 10-year-old and 12-year-old, you've got to go on an anti-Andrew Tate course. Well, I mean, nobody likes Andrew Tate except the misaligned. He's horrible. We all know about that. And if you're aggressive, if you say that sex should include strangulation as a nice, fine point, or if you are Muslim, and there lies perhaps a bigger story than they're saying, because they're not pointing the finger necessarily. It's a sort of scattergun, isn't it? Everybody's guilty. We know better. We will change your kids. Have a go at that one, Marilyn.
Well, I had a right go on it, and it's all over YouTube. I went on with Lembit Opik the other night. We were both so angry about it. We did this show at 11:30 last night, and the night before last, rather, and it is just outrageous. I mean, I have seen uh, and spoken and helped a lot of men and boys who have been aggressively, violently attacked by women. They have not mentioned the word misandry. Misandry is women who have a hatred of men. And I wonder if Jess Phillips has ever heard of that. And what she's doing, she is emasculating, demeaning boys and men, and it is discriminatory. You can't just say, even if there are, and there probably are more women abused than men, true, but to turn around and think or say that, well, if a woman did this to a man can hit back. Well, the thing is, these people choose people who are not reactionary. They are mostly nice people who are vulnerable, who are loyal, who are kind, and would not dream of hitting back. And it's all very well for oh no, a man can just hit, but those men won't want to. It's not in them. And what they're not talking about in schools, which absolutely drives me mad, is respect. If you don't have respect, if I don't respect you, whatever you say, yes or no, because they're absolutely hooked on consent. Consent only works if you respect people. So if I say to you, can I just take your glasses off and borrow them, Rodney, and you say no, if I don't respect you, I'm going to take them off your face anyway. And that's what they're not teaching in schools. They're not teaching, or they're teaching about what PSHE. No teacher should even embark on talking about relationships or sex. It's completely, I think, inappropriate, because if you want to do it properly, you need to use lived experience. And there's no way the teachers can do that. So, I mean, I go in and I do this course called Beauty or the Beast. Are you going out with an arse or a diamond, male or boys? I get more boys coming up to me after that course complaining about their girlfriends, and rightfully so, than the other way round. And the gap between, but I think it's 1 in 11 girls and 1 in 10 boys. I think it's something like that, it's a minuscule difference between one attacking the other. And girls can be vile, absolutely vile. And there's no point having courses. There's an 11-year-old boy that yesterday was put on one of these courses, right? I mean, number one, it goes back to parenting, you know, piss poor parenting. I said on this program with Lembit, I have 3 boys. They've sat through years of domestic abuse. And so people would love to say, oh, it's, learned behavior. No, because I was always saying to them, you do not talk to your sister like that. You do not hit your sister. And neither do you retaliate, Nikki. No one hits anyone, okay? You don't talk like that. You don't be like that. They wouldn't dream of being like that, even though they had that in their life. I was a strong parent, and that's a lot of it. They're not teaching respect. But what the schools are not doing is teaching about how to have a relationship. So, I can't stand this thing about the battle of the sexes. Well, it shouldn't be a battle, should it? It shouldn't be a battle. You've got men and boys who are, sorry, transgender people, wired differently. You've got us women who are wired differently. And that difference should actually work in harmony, bringing your differences together that are each other's strength.
But Marilyn, we've had decades of ultra feminism.
Well, that's the trouble. This is where it started.
Surprising we get idiots like Andrew Tate.
Oh, this is where it started, I think, from I was saying on this program yesterday that, I like a man to open the door for me, hold the car door. I like a man to help me on my coat. I like to go through the door first. I don't care if people think that. And this is where it started, where women started saying, I can hold the door myself. I don't need your help. And I think men are lost. I think they're lost. They don't know what they should be or how they should be anymore. And I think it's absolutely outrageous. I've written to my MP. I think it's criminal. It's discrimination. We are not allowed to discriminate in this country. But it's okay for Jess Phillips to do it. And I think she's been set up as a patsy. There's a bigger agenda going on here.
Exactly that. I mean, it's a distraction policy, and this government are massive.
Absolutely is.
And they failed in absolutely everything.
Absolutely
economics, morally, every way, and this is a deliberate distraction.
It's deliberate distraction. And I think it's also to take away from the violence against women and girls, which is so rife from illegal migrants. I think it's to take away, divert it over here to make it look like misogyny, but you can't. There is a word called misandry. So the condition obviously does exist. You wouldn't have the word. But I bet you anything, Jess Phillips has never heard of it. I saw a barrister a couple of years, 2, 3 years ago. He showed me a photograph of this gorgeous girl. She's about 5'2", beautiful, stunning, long blonde hair, lovely. And I went, why is she being prosecuted? Oh, she's just stuffed her husband or boyfriend through a plate glass window. He's in intensive care with shards of glass coming out of his brain. And if you see her, you wouldn't think she could smack a pat of butter. But when that red mist, that rage comes on with a narcissist, I mean, you don't cross a narcissist. When you do, you know you've done it. That rage is really something, and it's but you'll have lesbians that are like that together. You'll have gay people that are. This is not about gender. It's about a mindset, a broken mindset that goes back to early year trauma from
And
within their own childhood.
nobody mentions the Muslim problem. You've got 6 million Muslims with built in their DNA the way they've been brought up and the way the family, tribe, call it what you like, have been brought up. Let's mention them as well because
Oh
they're
yeah.
as culpable as
They-
everybody else.
it's true because they are so patriarchal and control. I mean, I know a couple of Muslim girls where they are expected, they're teenagers, and they are expected to wait on their teenage brothers. They have to, if he wants a glass of water, they have to get up and get it. I mean, excuse me? It's very, very powerful in the Muslim community, very much so. Will the Muslim boys be going on these courses? That's a nice thing to ask, isn't it?
Uh, yes.
Because that's where it sits mostly, a huge amount.
Yes, it is. It is.
So I'm enraged by it. I have not calmed down since Thursday morning, and I'm still cross about it.
Well, we were going to talk about, and we've run out of time. We can't. We'll save it to next week. About the pathways that are in the NHS, the death pathways, and it's not just abortion, death pathways. It's others, and we'll come on to an astonishing story.
Oh,
And
yes, we haven't got time this week. We need to do it next week.
no, but we must leave you seriously with some good news. It's a bit late, but if you're sick of receiving socks, male or female, for Christmas, when you go round to your little ones, grandma, granddad, parents, even for Christmas dinner, go with a box of goodies in your hand that you've made. Cookies.
Yeah.
Go on the internet. It's full of how to make cookies. Healthy ones, unhealthy ones, but make 10 varieties. Get a nice big box. They will remember that forever. They
Oh,
won't
I think
remember
I
a
think
pair of socks.
homemade gifts are really nice. I make jams and marmalades and give them away for
Yeah,
Christmas.
and
I do that.
buy your jam jars
Yeah, it's
online,
yeah, yeah,
whatever, and buy your boxes online
yeah.
and give them something they won't forget. A quick tip: don't be afraid of making your bickies hard.
Well, it
You've
depends if you've got false teeth or not.
got to cook them hot. And the other tip, of course, which everybody knows, is oats are without gluten, and be careful not to make them soggy. It's very easy to do that, and they become very healthy cookies. Put some dates in, healthy stuff, because there's bound to be somebody on a diet. Make a general assortment, and they'll love you forever.
True. And on that note, I'm going to say Happy Christmas because I can't believe this time next week it'll all be over
Hooray! No,
for another year.
I
I
didn't
can't
mean that.
believe how quickly it's galloped up at us. I really can't.
Yes.
It's
Well,
gone
when you're getting
so
over
fast.
90, you see, I mean, it goes like lightning.
All right then. Well, have a wonderful Christmas, everyone, and see you, or maybe just towards the very end of 2025. Bye bye for now.